This Val-Con video is powered by GTX server hosting, the best way to run your Valheim server.
Now come along and join us at Val-Con.
Hello everyone, my name is Deb Rosek, and today we are streaming Valheim, the survival and crafting game from Iron Gate. We're streaming from the Vanillaheim server, which was one of the Hype Week servers that was set up for Val-Con 2026. Now, Val-Con might be over, but the Val-Con experience continues. And today we're going to be giving you a nice example of building in Valheim. The plan today is I'm going to build some bridges, and I'll explain a little bit more about that as we get into it. So let's get started. Here we are in the base. There's been some things that happened since the last stream. Mostly incremental things. I'm not actually sure how much of the storage had been finished in the last stream. But as you can see, I now have a large storage area all made up of the reinforced chests, which have a much larger capacity than the ordinary wooden chests, basically double the capacity. And I have also put signs on the chests, or at least on the lower level, to indicate what is in each location. So for example, I basically look at this in terms of a vertical column of chests. So when this sign says gear, that refers to both of the chests that are above it. So this is tools, and this is weapons. And again here, this is armor, and this one is currently empty. These two chests aren't assigned. These are arrows. The bottom layer I have all piercing arrows, and the top layer I have status arrows for fire, poison. Meads in these two chests. Meals, the bottom layer is health foods. The top layer is stamina foods. And then over here we have most of the food ingredients, meats, which is all kinds of meats, vegetables, various things. Vegetables you can grow, thus crops, and there's a lot to go there. An unassigned one. Here's trophies, lots of trophy stuff, and also I have my tree seeds up here and my rocky rocks. Wood, stone, resin. You see, I've got a lot of room to grow here because there's a lot more game to play. This is parts of creatures, not parts of machinery. So feathers, bone, eyes, and so forth. And then this is metal, and here are actually machinery type parts. I've moved the workbenches all over here. Got the workbench, the forge. There's more to come. I have my fermenters inside at the moment. I may move them around in order to put another bench here. I'm not sure. I've got a big space over on this side. Can be used as well. I've got some trophies up here reflecting some of the areas that I've conquered. The meadows, the black forest, and then an array of different types of skeletons, including the glorious ghost trophy, which I really like, and a rancid remains trophy, the poisonous skeleton. So there's more fun skeletons to come. Out back we have our old smelting area. We took a lot of the space that was just open space here and made use of it for our workshop expansion. So we've been continuously making coal, although I will point out that a lot of this coal came from another source that I'll talk about in a little while. Our farm field still growing turnips and turnip seeds. Our beehive still making honey. I made a spot for a fourth one, but I haven't found one yet. Collect some honey. And honey goes into the top vegetables chest, which I think of this as like the fruit and sugar type chest, so honey fits a little better in there. And we've had some meads cooking over here. They're not ready to go. This one's medium healing, and this one's poison resistant. We do have quite a few good meads made up already. Healing, stamina, the interesting tasty mead, and then poison resistance and frost resistance, which is primarily for use in the mountain biome. We have not gone there yet, but getting ready for it because it won't be long. Let's see. These are drop-off chests for various materials, sort of like adventuring supplies here. So if you want to take a portal with you, here's some meads to go, and these are all empty. This is my storage for excess trophies. Those will be coming in later. And some interesting item stands that I use to hold things. Oh, look, Skippy seems to be unhappy. Oh, sorry, Skippy. This is our money. And our comfort is still the same that it's been. We're still waiting to get some more materials to upgrade the comfort even further. And our various cooking things. We definitely want to get our fire here upgraded to the hearth, which is, we take a look here under miscellaneous. There's the campfire, and a hearth is a big stone thing. You can see how big it is. It's pretty monstrous. The reason for upgrading is because it gives an additional point of comfort and therefore an additional minute of rested state. However, that would mean, completely rebuilding the chimney and all these stations, and I'll have to see whether there's room for it. There's a lot to do there. I did build this little sitting area here with just the basic sitting logs. This doesn't really affect comfort, but it has a nice look, and gives me a place to sit down if I want to and just kind of ponder life. Don't quite have the full 11 comfort over here. Let's see. Let me try this seat. Ah, there we go. See, that seat gives you the full 11 comfort. It's all a matter of proximity to various and sundry things. This, by the way, is the iron fire pit that you can purchase from Hildir, and I had gone over there at one point and bought that. And it's nice because it allows you to set up a fire on a wooden floor, something that you can't do with many of the fires. All right, let's see what's going on outside. Not much different out here. Yep. Yeah, some folks wandering around in our front yard. Not really hunting deer at this point. I have uses for their leather, but not really for their meat, so I'm not going to bother with that. But if I wanted to, I could be sitting up here sniping those guys. Anybody down by the dock? No, not at the moment. Okay. Any bears over here? Nope. Grey dwarves over that way. Okay. So, let's talk about our project. We'll take a quick look at the map here. I did do a lot of exploring during my offline time. So you can see that I've uncovered this whole southern section here and there, and completely uncovered this western section over here, greatly increasing the amount of explored area. If you consider the rivers to be just rivers or streams and not really a break in the continent, you can see that the main continent of this world is really very large. In fact, there's another whole piece of it right here that I haven't yet explored that's still just got a river going through there. So, and this can all be considered part of it, and there's a whole chunk of land here I haven't touched, and there's more up there. You could just call that a river. So it's really huge when you start putting all the pieces together. Anyway, the bridge we're talking about is right here along this river that separates sort of the main north and south pieces of the central continent. This is the Forsaken Circle, where we first spawn into the game. And there are 3 sites to battle Lake there. There's one down here along the coast. There's the one that is shown from the Forsaken Circle here, and this one here, which is up in a sort of a flat open area. This is by far the best. Being too close to the coast can interfere with the fight, and the terrain in this one down here is very jagged up and down with deep cut streams and so forth. It's not great. This is the one where most people have gone to fight Eek there. Now, yes, there is a portal that runs from our portal house way over here in community, right there, all the way up to Eek there. And there's another portal that runs from the Forsaken Circle down to the portal house. So yeah, you can take a couple of portals and you can get there. But it would be nice if we could simply walk all the way from the Forsaken Circle up to Eek there. And so that's why I built these bridges. This is the larger one that crosses the river. And this is just a tiny little footbridge that crosses a stream that's right in there. What I want to do is rebuild these. I want to make them bigger, wider, and in the case of this particular bridge, I want to make it tall enough that a boat, a carve specifically, could pass underneath it. Right now, it's right down near the water level, but I want to raise it up, make it a much more bigger and complex bridge structure. Now, again, many people can just take portals, but I like the idea of building a bridge that people can traverse that space from, and then it's really more also an exercise in how you can build a very tall bridge with a large open space underneath it. Okay, we're located up here in Vanillaheim, my home, the bear's home. And so we're going to get ready to go down there. I have placed a portal right here that will allow me to quickly get to that spot. And I've been spending quite a few hours gathering materials I'm going to need. Mostly wood, core wood, stone. We're going to use some stone piers on this bridge. And a few other things that are going to be very useful. Looks like we've got night coming on. Let's go sleep until tomorrow. No dreams tonight, apparently. Okay. Our food has run out, so I'm going to eat out of the chest. I'm doing this primarily because, first, it's right here, and that way I can preserve what I'm carrying in my inventory for use when I'm out in the field. All of my equipment is repaired. I have a substantial supply of arrows. I'm going to be in the meadows. So what I'm going to do is come over here and drop off one of these stacks of arrows. I probably won't face anything that I can't deal with just 2 stacks of arrows. Actually, let's do this. I'm going to put that up there and select those. And I'm going to put these... What if what the heck. I was about to say, if a troll comes, I'd rather have the flint head arrows, which is true, but at this stage, fire arrows will be perfectly good enough to take down a troll. Okay. Oh, look. Skippy's much happier now. Yay! We're going off to do some work. So we're going to step through here. This is my DR Gather portal. Only I've specifically marked it as at the bridge, because that's where it's located. Let's go see what we've got. Okay, so there's the current bridge. If you go very far back into my streams that occurred during Val-Con, you could see me building this bridge, and you would perhaps have noticed that there were lots more trees in this area surrounding it. And then there's a second little footbridge. I'll come over here, and let's see. There, you can just see it down there, crossing over that little brook. All right, and our goal today is going to be rebuilding both of those. Although the main job is going to be the larger bridge. Now, what I've been doing in the run up to this is I've been going through this area, clearing away a lot of trees, also clearing away stones in order to get the stone that I need, and gathering up all those materials. So I've got wood, wood, a little bit more wood. And I've got stone, stone, and then I've got some extra stuff. I went to the Black Forest and cut down a number of pine trees to get the core wood. And I also have this, some pine wood, some bronze nails, and ooh, Surtling trophies. I'll explain why those are here and how I got them a little bit later. But for the moment, I'm just going to, here, I'll stick this away in there just to get rid of it. So, now in looking at this terrain, I initially tried to put this bridge here in a way that crossed the narrowest place. And also, as you can see, it's pointed exactly north and south. That's nice. But in looking at the terrain further, let's see if I can see this zooming out a little bit. You can see how there's this sort of hump or ridge of land that goes up the hill here. Quite steep. And it's sort of pointing straight down at the river. And then if you look directly opposite, you see this tree that's growing here? I deliberately left this tree in place. Actually, I had to defend it against some of the other falling trees so it wouldn't break. And that's going to be the aiming point. What I want to do is take the bridge directly down this ridge. So we'll take advantage of having this raised up land to provide a better base for the bridge, and take it directly across the river at that angle, which won't be straight north anymore. So we're shifting the angle of the bridge to go across there. And it's going to be quite high. It's going to come up here. I'm not sure how high. We'll have to measure that and figure out how high it needs to be. So it's going to be a long bridge because I'm crossing the open space between these two points. Getting it all properly supported is going to be an issue. I'm going to try and do it without using any wood iron beams, strictly using stone and core wood. So that's going to be a big challenge. Now, when we get up to the other side, we're going to be coming up, let's see, we're going to be coming up right here. If we turn around, and I'm going to kind of dodge around the portal there, and cross directly over, we now see we have an even steeper area that leads to that there. And that's why I ended up building the footbridge way over on that side. However, I'd kind of like to keep this comparatively straight. So we're going to build this footbridge, actually a much larger bridge, somewhere in this area. It doesn't necessarily have to be directly opposite that one, but it should be reasonably close. Maybe we can come down, oh, I don't know, here. Possibly we can come down here. Anyway, we want to build it across so that when we get to the other side, and it's a little hard to make out where this creek runs through, but it's basically right here. When we get to the other side, then we can just take a gentle right turn and head over to the Forsaken area. So here's how it's going to be. We're going to have one bridge somewhere across here. We're going to have the new bridge at a slight angle like that across here. And then perhaps we'll sort of make a path, a little road along the ground leading up towards the Ichthyr site. And we'll complete a journey just like that. So, not going to do the road work today. Don't know really if we're going to even get to the footbridge today. It will depend on time and possibly on materials. I hope I've gotten enough, but it takes a lot of materials to build a structure this large. So that's one of the big goals. Reorient the direction, make it tall enough for a carve to sail underneath it. There's one other factor as well, and to understand what that is all about, we're going to have to talk about player bases. So, I'm going to go back to my base for this discussion because I've got more information there that will be illustrative of what I'm talking about. Okay, this is my base. And not only is it a building from which I can function and do base type things, it is also, within the definition of the game's mechanics, a player base. Now, what does that mean? There's a process that happens with certain items you can build. For example, the workbench. This is usually the first item you get that works like this. The workbench isn't just doesn't just allow you to build structures, and it doesn't just offer you the ability to make items. It also has an interesting effect. If I go into my hammer and I select building, just some piece, it doesn't matter, and I come out here. Now this is going to be tricky because of all the workbenches I've got, but let's come to this corner and we'll see if we can get it there. Now there's a workbench right below me here in this corner, and when I'm standing here right on the edge, you see this circle of a white dashed line that's surrounding me right now? That circle represents the area of the workbench effect. That is the area in which I can build using the influence of this workbench. Coincidentally, a workbench has a second effect of spawn suppression. No creatures will spawn inside that circle because that workbench is there. There are a number of items that have this effect, and with a very few exceptions, they all create this base item effect for a radius of 20 meters. Hold on just a moment, please. Troublemakers. What are you going to do? Anyway, they all create this base item effect for a radius of 20 meters surrounding the place where they're located. This is the spawn suppression action that you use to try and keep spawns from happening. You certainly don't want them to spawn inside your base, because that's a big problem. But it's also nice to create a buffer zone outside your base. So when I have placed workbenches along my walls at specific intervals, what I'm really doing is creating a series of overlapping circles of base effect. So there's one, there's another one, there's another one, and then if I get to the right spot, there's another one, and so on, all the way around the base. Not really triggering this one here, but there is one. And by doing that, I am protecting the base against spawns in a substantial area outside of it. So that's kind of cool. But there's more to it than that. That has to do with raids, or raid events is perhaps a slightly more accurate term. Periodically, the game will generate events in which bands of creatures will come and they will attack you. These nearly always happen at your base, because that's how the mechanic is set up in the game. So, I'll just briefly try and describe how this works. Approximately every 40 to 45 minutes, I'm not sure of the exact timing, a timer is triggered in the game. And when that timer goes off, there's a 20% chance that an event is going to be triggered. If an event is triggered, then the game has to select a player who's going to receive that event. Okay, if you're the single player, well, obviously it's going to be you. But in a multiplayer server, it can be any one of the players who are currently logged into the server. Okay, it will never hit more than one player at once, although there are some glitchy things that can happen sometimes where it actually looks like it can actually hit multiple players. You can end up with things like double raids, something that happened to us not too long ago over at the community center where we got 4 trolls all at once. Anyway, there's a number of these different raids. Some of them are based on the last boss that you killed. So I have defeated the Elder, and therefore I'm getting the raid Foul Smell from the Swamp, which sends in Draugr and skeletons to attack me. Now, the way that it determines if a player is eligible is that player has to be within 40 meters of at least 3 base items. This defines a player base. So the player has to be at a base, not necessarily their base. Any base will do, as long as there are at least 3 of these player base items within 40 meters of that player. They are then eligible for that raid. There is actually a raid that is not dependent on the player base. It's a wolf raid, which I won't get because that's something that happens much later. But that one can actually happen almost anywhere, or rather, let me see if I got this correctly. It mostly happens in the mountains and the plains, and it can come at you out in the field. It can be very dangerous. You could be in the middle of, for example, assaulting a village of Fuelings out in the plains, and suddenly you're getting a crowd of wolves coming after you also. Very, very dangerous. So it can be a very fearful raid if it hits you at the wrong time. Anyway, raids can be very destructive. Certain ones, especially the raid of trolls or the raid of Fueling Horde, which includes creatures that do some AoE damage that includes pickaxe and chop damage. They can damage walls and other structures very, very rapidly. If you get a troll raid at a base like mine with a stone wall or a wooden stake wall or any built wall that isn't made of the terrain, your best choice is to leave your buildings, go outside, and draw them away. If you try to defend this wall against trolls, they will smash it to pieces, sometimes within a matter of seconds, and be right inside your base. And then you have serious problems. So you got to keep them away. Now, obviously, we're going to build this bridge out in the country, as it were. It's not going to have a wall around it. It's not going to be a player base. So we don't want to have any raids there. No raids at this bridge. It's very, very important. In order to prevent that, we have to ensure that the bridge does not become a player base. And that means we got to limit the number of player base items that's at the bridge. So I'm going to just do a thing here. I'm going to pop up a screen, hopefully. Let's see here. There we go. This is a page from the Valheim wiki, a great resource. And after you've learned some things about the game, you don't want to go here and get spoilers, but if you've already learned some things about the game, you can come and get some more details and critical information that you may not have been obvious from actually playing in the game. This is the page about player base. And it talks about the fact that it prevents creatures from spawning. This does not include physical spawners. That's a slightly deceptive statement. It should really more accurately say it does not include special spawners. So you've seen the Great Ore spawner in the Black Forest that has the purple flames. Player base items will not stop those from spawning. On the other hand, the Surtling plume, the fire plume that comes up in the swamp, is a standard spawner, and it will be shut down by a player base item. And then allows events to trigger if the player has 3 player base structures within 40 meters. So this is the important piece of information. We want to make absolutely certain that on our bridge, there is no place around there that you have 3 player base structures within 40 meters that could cause an event to trigger. So we're going to need some workbenches when we build it, but when we leave, when it's done, we want to make sure there's not a lot of workbenches lying around there. Probably not more than 1, maybe none at all. You can always bring a workbench with you if you need to repair it. Let's see what else is a player base item, because some of them are a little bit surprising. One of the things you quickly see is that lots and lots of the torches and fire sources are player base items. Sconce, various and sundry torches and braziers, fire pits, campfires, bonfires, the hearth. Almost all the fires are player base items. Of course, the various workbenches, the stone cutter, the black forge, the artisan table, the forge, and the workbench. Virtually all of them have this 20-meter range. There are a few exceptions. For some weird reason, the artisan table has a 40-meter range, or radius, I should say. The forge and workbench have a 20-meter radius until you start adding upgrades. But I disregard upgrades for this purpose because you don't usually put upgrades on a bench that you're using just to suppress spawns. And also there's a little weirdness that can happen when the world is being loaded. in which their radius is temporarily just 20 meters. You can get some random spawns that way. So it's best to just assume everything is 20 meters. Okay. Oh, and by the way, player base items doesn't stop things like pickable items on the ground from spawning in, including branches or flint nodes or berries or any of those things. So we basically want to avoid all of these things. Oh, beds. Beds are also player base items. We want to avoid all of these things. Portals are player base items. So we're not going to have a portal at the bridge. We're not going to have a bed. We're not going to have a lot of torches to light the place up. If we want to light the bridge, we'll have to take a different approach. And workbenches, we might have one there, but we're going to put some pretty strict limits on it so that we don't create a player base. Okay. Let's go back to the game. Now, is it already night again? How time flies. I said we're going to build this bridge in a blend of stone and wood, using stone, core wood, regular wood. So I've got all those materials out there already. But if we're going to build in stone, that requires a stone cutter. And a stone cutter requires, oh, how lovely, it's going to be raining. Stone cutter requires some iron. So I'm going to pick up, oh, look, I have just 2 pieces of iron. What luck. To be honest, I thought I had more. Oops. That would have been a problem. Yeah, probably would have had to tear something down. Then let's see, what else do I need to make the stone cutter? Well, I need some wood. I need 10 wood. Come on. And I need 4 stone. Right, let's see. Stone cutter. Yep. I can make a stone cutter with all this. Great. You know, I'm probably also going to need to place down some workbenches. So yeah, while we're there building, we're probably going to temporarily qualify as a player base. That's okay. We're there to help defend it. It's that when we leave and the thing is done, we don't want to leave a player base behind. Because then just any random player who happens to be running across the bridge can trigger an event. They may not be ready to handle that event, so let's not do that. I could eat another bite. Yes. Food. Just doesn't last as long as it used to. I'm kidding. It actually lasts longer than the earlier foods, but it always seems like it's running out when you're busy doing something. All right. Let's go get wet. Item prevents you from teleporting. Yeah, and didn't I just say that? Yep. I'd have to walk it over there. I did. Okay. So, let's go find this bridge. Not very far away. And make sure you have your weapons on when you're going. I'm not going to be hunting here today, so we're not going to stop to gather meat and hides or anything like that. Make sure I'm going in the right direction. Yeah, pretty close. Here, what I can do is ping the spot. Right there. That way. Yeah, this rain's going to be annoying because it saps your stamina. Now, we're eventually going to be making a very tall build here, so one of the things to watch out for is to maintain your food. Because if you fall off the bridge, when your health has perhaps fallen below 100 points, you're going to die. It's silly to die from falling off a bridge. I'm hearing a... Oh, there it is. I was hearing a boar somewhere. we'll get a chance to see what this looks like from the other side now too. See that I've cleared away there. You can see I've cleared away a lot of the trees. And if you can imagine it, we wanted to line up that tree. So I'm there. I can see the other end of the bridge and the tree. So this is approximately the direction that the bridge is going to be coming in here. You can see there's also something of a ridge of stone here. So that ridge of ground here. And that's going to be helpful to be coming in just like this. I'm going to leave that tree up until it actually gets into the way. And we're going to keep the old bridge here, partly because it's useful to be able to cross, partly because it gives us some workbenches down here, and just reasons like that. All right, so the basic design we want to end up with is we're going to have 2 stone piers on either side of the bridge, leaving an opening in the middle where a carve can get through. Now, wouldn't it be nice if we had a carve here somewhere that we could use to sort of measure the space we need? I agree, it would be wonderful. So let's see what we can do about that. Let's put a thing here, just temporarily. And then we'll stick our stone cutter right there. Good. And drop that off, and lurking inside here, in addition to a workbench I can use to repair my hammer, look at that. That's a carve. This was our older boat that we'd had from before. We've built a long ship now and don't necessarily use this, but it's good to keep it around. Alright, so what I want to do is try and place the opening for the carve at the point where the water is the deepest. Just sort of looking down to the water, which is thankfully very quiet right now. Seems to me that's right about here. So let's build a boat right about that point. Right there. Good. Okay. So that tells us there, you can see how tall the mast is. The very tip of the mast has to have clearance. This also tells us how wide we have to go. The opening or the arch, whichever it's going to be, has to be wide enough that the sail can pass through without scraping against the sides. You want to leave plenty of room. It's hard to sail these boats perfectly straight. So the more space you can give it, the better. I'd certainly like to have at least a meter above the top of the mast, and ideally maybe 2 to 3 meters on each side of the sail, because side-to-side variance is going to be much greater than up and down. But that's our ruler, as it were. Now it occurs to me that I dropped it in the wrong side, because we're going to be building the bridge to go across toward that tree, so this is now directly underneath the bridge. Well, we can move it. Not a big deal. Don't have to do that right now, because all we're going to build right now are some piers. So here's our ridge of ground coming down. You can see how it sort of curves up above the land. So this is the point. We're basically going to start the bridge at the same point and then head directly across toward that tree. So actually, some of this stuff might really be in the way. So what are we going to do about that? Let me go get some wood and we can see what we can do. The first thing we're going to do is put our stone cutter on the other side of the bridge. That out of the way. Then we want to build our workbench probably on the other side of the bridge too. So I'm going to tear this stuff all down because it's coming down anyway, and they don't need to protect this the same way. Okay, we'll put you over there. Start tearing this business out. A member of the Valheim family has arrived in the server. That's great. Just give him a message here. Streaming my bridge building now. No worries. Play as you wish. Okay. I just want to let him know that there's no need for him to be doing anything special or avoiding doing anything special while I'm doing this. This is a public server, and that means at times the public will be on it. And everybody is playing their own game and is not necessarily involved in what I'm doing, so it's perfectly all right for them to continue. Clear away some of these stuff down here so I can get in there and okay, that's about as far as I can go without water. All right, so again, I'm trying to draw a line here up this ridge. What might be helpful would be to build, let's use this, kind of drawing a line up this hill. Now, one of the issues you can have is that sometimes the rotational points on these things don't quite go where you want them to. Okay, so if we're starting at the top of the ridge, which is right here. We're going to aim for that tree. That's not directly down this ridge of land. That's not either, but I think I like this one as being closer to what we want. So I'll kind of come over to this side, pointing us at the tree, and place that. Then, there we go. There we go. I'm just kind of drawing a line to show me where the, where the build is going to go. Make sure all this is touching the ground. Now let's see if I can get in range of this bench down here. I can. Like so. Okay. Maybe take a straight one here because otherwise I would lose its visibility on it. Keep coming down here like this. All right. So this kind of gives us the basic angle of what we're going to build. Maybe one more. And therefore it will provide a good reference point for where we're going to start with the stone. So, yeah. We're probably going to need to set some wood aside over here because I can't carry all the stone and the wood besides. So, make a couple of stone piles. Good. All right, now let's go get some stone. Let's see what we can build down here. All right. I think I'm going to use the path in command just to clear away the vegetation. Sort of obscures things a little bit when you're trying to build. So now, now I want to start building in stone. Now, here's an interesting thing. When I built the wall of my base, I used this piece predominantly, and sometimes the square or cube piece, because a wall of these, I built something like this with overlapping. That looks sort of like you expect a stone wall to be. That's great, but when I'm going to be building across water here, the thing that's going to be tricky is getting the stones to bed down on the ground underneath the water where you can't really see it. And these smaller stones are difficult to place like that. I mean, I can kind of see it down there and place it, but I really don't want to. So here's a good case to use these larger stones. Because they're taller, I can still see that down there, and when I place it, I know it's going to be bedded into the ground. So, the other thing I want to do here is this bridge is going to be wider than the old one. This one is pretty much a foot bridge. I want one that's double width of that so that we can take carts across it. So we're going to go 2 squares wide. Let's do a little bit of building along those lines. See if I can snap it in there. Good. This gives me the basic layout of how I want the bridge to be. And I can use these stones here on the shore. Let's see. Something like that. That, I think. Okay, that will define the width of the bridge. Then I can switch to these bigger pieces and try and snap them in and swing that around. Is that right? That's lined up. There we go. That's what I'm going for. Why don't you snap in there? You not snapping. There we go. Sure why it behaved exactly like that, but that gives us the width of the bridge we want to make. So now you see if I place this one down here, it's diagonal from the corner of that one, and it's go to auto. Nope. Top 2. There we go. Odd how that works. It's diagonal, and you can see how it's blue. That tells me it's fully in contact with the ground. In fact, I can even stand on this. And I put the next one along, and let's see. We'll watch that one for a second. That one's still blue. That one broke. It means it didn't have support. You don't get support from... am I going to be able to pick that up? That's going to be a problem. Okay. There is a... Come on. Oh, well. Let's see here. There is a technique for picking up things from the bottom of the water by jumping in, and there, you see, it said added stone 6. I picked that up. So we're going to want to be really careful here how we do this. There is so there was no support because stone structures attached side to side don't give support. They just don't attach that way. There's one exception, and that is the arch that does attach on the side and gives support. But other stone structures need support from underneath. This one has support because it's touching the ground. The one I built here did not. So what I need to do, let's go over here and build another piece. And I need to get it down below there, so let's... There. Now you see, that one's got support from the ground. Now if I come up here, and I'm fine. Alright. Let's see over here. Let's try there. And see, now even though that one itself had support and was touching the ground, I was able to build another one below it. You just see it down there glowing blue. And that one's in full contact with the ground underneath. And this is what we're basically going to do, is we're going to build across like this. And then we're going to cut a hole in it with a boat. So let's get in the boat here. We'll back the boat out of here a bit. In fact, we'll... turned it the wrong way. Turned it the wrong way. Well, okay. You know what? Let's jump out of the boat. Remember that trick? It stops the boat from moving. There. And it will just sit there. It's probably best not to leave that boat sitting there when we go away, because creatures will sort of attack it. But for the moment, we'll be fine. Let me turn my headlamp on. Okay. So let's continue building these pieces. I'll put them back on auto. Continue building this across. It is getting dark. Okay, will you stand? No. This is going to be a problem. But you will. You will. And now I'm out of stone. So I'm going to need to be a little bit more cautious, because it's going to be hard to recover that stone at the bottom. So. Yep. Move this up here. Continue with my bridge. Now I don't need necessarily to put fill it in with stone in the middle. That's just absolutely unnecessary. But it's going to be a problem trying to walk across this. So what I will do is temporarily lay flooring like so. Okay, now what I want to do, let me turn. I want to build a piece there, down at that level where it's supported. Then here, and then here. And also there. Okay. Well, hopefully I can just keep going like this. We're almost across, actually. Yep. There's that. There's that. There's that. Okay. Try this side. And I think that one works better with the other top snapping. Yep. Yep. And yep. There we go. Let's put in a few more bits of planking. Okay. Soon we shall have a complete bridge, actually. But not with the gap needed to let the boat get through. Okay, let's see here. That one seems to be solidly on the ground, so I didn't have to go down so far, because the bottom of the river is coming up. Let's see. Oh, that one. Oh dear. Wait, how am I out of stone? Oh, the stone cutter. Yes, I'm out of range of the stone cutter. Okay. You see what I mean about them chewing on the boat? Okay. Gotta go take care of that. Oops, came up the wrong side. All right. Let's do this. Chompy's asking me my Twitch username. I do have a Twitch account, but I'm not streaming on Twitch at this time, so. Nope, 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 nope. Do not be sailing. Okay, let's get out of here, and I'll talk to him. I don't stream on Twitch at this time. And one of my good friends, Buren, has joined us here. I stream on YouTube. At Rosick. Is that right? Isn't that the name of my account? Pretty sure it is. Okay. I want to break up this boat. Yeah, I should have enough space to break it. I'll put it back in the box at the top of the hill until it's time to cut the hole in it. Ooh, I need to eat. Okay. Did I get the whole boat? Yes. Okay. Since I'm up here, fix my tools. Okay. The stone cutter, right. I'm just gonna move it into the middle of the bridge. More or less. Shove it off to one side like that. That should do it. Now, let's do the same pathing business over on this side that we were doing over there. Move some of these plants and make it a little easier to see what we're doing. Okay. So we can probably take down this tree now. Oh, fall right on him. Ah, close. I love it when I kill grey dwarfs with trees. Oh, this guy. Not wearing my mask that protects me from his poison. Fortunately, his poison is pretty weak. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a challenge as we build. These guys are going to show up, make trouble. All right, let's run down here. Offload some of the junk. Nope, don't really want that. Flint is useful. I'll save that. Okay. So now, let's see if we can build these pieces, build those pieces. Missing, oh, now I'm missing stone. Okay, no, don't do that. I was hitting the wrong key there because of a different game that I play where you essentially have to hit, let's see if I'm in range. I am. You essentially have to hit escape in order to exit out of the hammer mode. And that's not the way it works in Valheim, but I keep thinking it is, and pressing escape. Okay, let's see. Right. Well, first of all, let's dump the stone. Let's dump the wood. I'm going to... You know what? There's that other... Yeah, I had that piece. I'm going to put this other stuff in here where it's really out of the way. Fix some gear. No. What gear that I can't fix. Get the claws back on. Grey dwarves, greylings. All nuisances. Alright. So, let's see here. And I didn't pick up any stuff. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Ah, good. Daytime. So you might be wondering, why don't you just sleep through the night? Well, sure. On a multi-user server, getting everybody in bed so you can sleep through the night can be challenging. I find it's generally better to simply adapt to the fact that you're not going to be able to sleep than to try and wrangle people for that process every 20 minutes or whatever it is. So, don't usually bother. Kind of get used to it. Right. Maybe a little bit more pathing over here. I have a border around where I'm building. Okay. Heavy building. Heavy, man. Okay, we can come up on the shore. Okay. Right. So, that's probably a good enough start. Come down here and see if I can do this. Can I get him to snap? Don't have to spin it around. There we go. And here, yep, okay. Good. A little bit more planking across here. Come on. All right, so now we have a bridge. I'm going to shift this stone cutter a little bit. So what I'm going to do is count the numbers of stones, except for that partial one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's call it 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just a little bit of a shift will do. Push it down right about, just a little bit there. There. So that's roughly. So now if I select heavy build and look around the circle, you can see that it pretty neatly encompasses the full width of the bridge. All right? Cool. So now let's think about where we're going to go up from here. And this is where we can start to define the opening that we need. Essentially, we want to pick the center, which is... yeah. See, the thing is, the bridge is not directly perpendicular, so the opening looks good on this side, like right about here. On that side, yeah, it should be good, okay. It's not going to be perfect. So I'm thinking possibly this stone here. So if I build, I'm going to switch to the smaller stones. If I build like this on each side of this, and then come down here and build like this, right? This leaves me an opening in the middle. This is not big enough for a boat to get through. I'm just trying to define where the opening is going to be. So let's take out these inner sets of stones and kind of look at it. Could a boat get through that? Maybe. Maybe. Might be big enough. Not 100% sure. This is where we'll have to get the boat out and measure it. See whether that's big enough. It's possible we could even do sort of an angled opening, where instead of, you know, having an opening passing through like this, it's actually passing through like that, and therefore aligning better with the river. That's possible to do, and might be the better choice because of where the channel is in this bridge. So, yeah, so something like that. But we'll see. All right. Again, I'm not going to tear this out because it gives me a way to cross the bridge, to work on it as I continue to go. So let's actually, let's go get the, hey, here's Buren. Give him a wave. Burenilla, right, because this is Vanillaheim. Go get my boat, put it in the water. Do I have enough weight capacity for the boat? Let's find out. I do. Okay. So now let's see how we're doing. Try to put the boat in right here in the middle of this opening. Miscellaneous boat right here. Okay. Now if I look directly down this opening, yeah, that's too tight for the thank you, Baron. And that's too tight there, so we're gonna have to go a little bit wider. Ideally we want to take out hang on a minute, let me turn the light off. There, that's better. Ideally, we want to take, stop that, this much more on each side, I think. Yeah, I like that much better. So that will then define our two piers. You can see they're pretty far apart. Hi, Buren. So that's a pretty wide gap to span. We'll have to see if we can maybe narrow it down as we go on up. So let's let's keep building our heavy build here. Now, one of the things we'll have to think about is how wide do we want to make these piers? They don't necessarily have to be, you know, super duper wide. We can just have them be, I don't know, 3 stones across or something. We're going to run out of stone if we try to make it too much. Okay. So, carry all that. We can carry all that. Actually, let's get a little more. Carry that much? We sure can. So yeah, you can see that this process of building like this is kind of a try some stuff out and see how it goes, and then try a little bit more and see how that goes, and so on and so on. It's not like we have a blueprint plan There are ways to use blueprints and such in Valheim, but those involve mods, and we're not doing mods on this playthrough. Okay. Then we're just basically going to go up from here. And we want to go as high as we can, because when we switch over to wood, the wood will more or less start over as if it was touching ground. It's a little more complicated than that, but you can see if I were to attach a piece of wood to this stone, the wood is blue. It acts as though the stone was ground to it. But if you get up high enough, then the stone no longer has the necessary support to be able to do that, and the wood will start out as green or even orange. So it's a process of finding that right balance, the point at which you switch over from stone to wood to get the most support you can out of the stone, but also to maximize the support that the wood's going to give you. Because eventually we're going to have to get up high enough to put a wood deck down for the flooring, and to put a roof over it. And the roof will be at the highest point, so we need to have support to be able to get that roof going. The roof will be important because it will protect the wooden pieces from deteriorating in the rain. Okay. So our stone piers are doing pretty well. Kind of thinking that I don't want them to be quite this wide. I may only want it to stop, say here. Yeah, something like this. Right. This blinky stuff's driving me crazy. Let's go see if we can pick it up. Get that? We can get that. Drop the stone also. It's further down there. Not going to get it. Okay. Yeah. Thinking that's where we want the stone piers to end. Okay. Yeah. Oops. Seem to be carrying too much. Well, that's fine. See if I can get on top of there. One more try. Yes, okay. What I'll probably need to do is start putting up some ladders so I can get up there. And this is the point at which to really start paying attention to your food, because now we're getting up high, and this is where you can start falling off and suffer a embarrassing death. Okay. Yeah, that's let's see if I can do it from this side. Nope, didn't do that right. Gotta run at it. There we go. And what we'll eventually do is come back and fill in the endpoints. Okay, let's see if we can pick up the stone. We can. Right. So this is looking pretty good. Now, next question we're going to have is, how tall do we need to be? So, let's see. I'm just going to build with these squares. If I set them to snap to the bottom, like such, I can just keep building straight up. And that also gives me a little preview of where the support's going. See how the orange is turning up there? Yep. Now, interestingly, that side is better than this side. Yeah, there's differences in height of the ground underneath, how much they're going down to the ground. So let's get a ladder up here, get up there. Let's have a peek. So what I want to do is I'm kind of trying to eyeball it. See, is this going to be above the mast? It looks like it is. Not a lot above. It's going to be a pretty tight fit. Let's see if we can do something here. I'm going to go get some core wood. Also going to fix my hammer while I'm up here. Get rid of this junk. And some core wood. A little more than that. Okay. I'm going to try and extend some pieces out from the top of this part here. Right. Let's see if I can do this. All right, I want to use a long pole, like so. There we go. Hopefully that won't break. Good. And that, as you can see, this pole is at the top of that stone. Okay, and it's pointing straight at the mast. So I want to be able to see, is that above or below the mast? Ooh, that's very close. That means that if I build something that's just above the top of this stone, that mast will just barely fit through. I think I want to go up 1 meter higher than that, because that is not going to cut it. And let's also use this same technique. And I can break these and they'll float in the water, so it's fine. Also use the same technique to build some poles out. Let's say around this height, and we'll make those straight. Like that. And that's from the top of that bit, yep. So we'll go here, there. This will tell us how well the sail will fit through. And yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks like some good clearance on either side. So we need to go 1 meter higher, and we've got a good width. Now we can create an arching shape where it's taller in the middle and not as tall on the outer bits. That could potentially help our support, but let's just do this, and now we have established. You know, I'm going to build a chest down here. We avoid having to run up and down the hill all the time. Let me build a chest there, and I will shove all this stuff into it, and then I'm going to go get my wood and things out of the water here. Watch my stamina. Ooh, I won't make it back to the other side of the boat. Let's go over here. All right. Cover a little bit, and then I'll come down here, and I'm going to take the boat out again, because night's coming on, as it inevitably does, and I want to have this boat put away. Stamina. always worry about the nails. Everything else is easily replaceable, but those nails, they're a little bit costly. Ooh. Oh, almost drowning. Almost drowning. I'm good. I'm fine. Well, I'm mostly fine. A minute. Let's see. Dink, 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 dink. He wants to sleep. Let's pop through. Oh, I'm wet. Stop being wet. Not wet. Oh, it looks like Skippy is having a somewhat neutral day. Let's see, where's Buren? Looks like he's just going home. Okay, great. So any moment now we will start to sleep. Any moment. Very, very, very soon. It probably doesn't need to... Oh, there we go. Well, hey, I should be watching my chat over here. I see that Buren has shown up. And Ulrich, Gaming and Music. Thank you for coming by. Ulrich was a fellow Hype Week server host. He had this amazing server that builds I can't even begin to describe. I would say join the Val-Con Discord and find out about it. Go there and visit it. You won't believe it, what he's been able to do. Kind of makes my little bridge look a little dowdy, but that's all right. I'm happy with what I'm building too. So, what am I doing here? Fixing my gear for one thing, because that bench I have there is too limited. And heading on back to work on the bridge. Okay. It's morning. Shouldn't it be nice and bright and sunny? Well, maybe not. What's this down here? Resin. Great. I don't need resin. Right. I don't need this for the moment. So we want to go 1 meter higher with the floor of the... So that means we want the height there. That's where we want the height of the floor of the center part to be. Like so. Ooh, you are very, very orange. Well, that's okay. I think it will be fine. Whether we can span this distance and maintain support is another question. We will see. We might be able to get some help by bridging across these places. So let me show you how we can do that. This is where these archways will come in. I don't need to fill in stone all the way across to provide support, because what I can do is set up these archways, and I can having them going both sides. And they will transfer some support from side to side, and if that provides better support, now let's look at it and see. Still looks about the same. Well, it was a thought. And seeing how the thought is what counts, I will continue said thought. Thought I had more stone here than that. Yes, well, I do have other sources of stone, if it comes to that. But this is why I couldn't really afford to just make solid stone piers here, because too much stone. And structurally not necessary. Okay. And remember, I'm going to be ripping out this middle section, and I'll recover all that stone. Well, maybe I will. Stuff on the bottom could be difficult to get to. So, let's start raising this part up. Now we have another walkway to walk on, which is handy. Going to put that piece in there, and then if I do it very carefully, extremely carefully, well, I guess I can't. I thought I could break out the square piece without removing the larger piece, but it wasn't giving me the snapping that I needed. So. Okay, I'm going to move these ladders to the middle so that I can reach up there. So, actually I don't need to build that. I can build two of those. Yeah, I'm going to need more stone in a hurry here. Oh, I have other sources. I hope. Always something. I suppose I could narrow up the piers again on this side, not on the inner part, but on this side I could narrow them up. Might be the way to go. Let's see if I can get up there. Nope. Nope. Okay. Get a little bit more wood. Might do it. Okay. Ah! Well, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, let's do a little counting here. So that one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stone blocks above that innermost floor. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So one more layer is the height that I want. See if I can build this out. Watch your food. Starting to get real dangerous up here. Okay, so this should be the height of the walking deck, the the height where we'll be walking across the bridge. You can see how high up we are. All that to get a boat underneath. Yeah. Right. So yeah, we could potentially shorten up the pier a little bit here. Okay, I missed that one entirely. But that just shows you how dangerous falling can be. Or jumping in my case. So, yeah. Interesting. So I've got this piece here and this piece here. I could narrow it as much as half. Make it appear just this part over there. Then I would need support on this side and support on that side. The issue is that I don't, well, maybe it doesn't matter. I'm going to start tearing some of this out because I don't need it here. This isn't going to be the true deck of the bridge, although I'll leave it while construction's still underway. I like the wide pier up to a point. Okay, since I've got this now at the target height, here, let me move these ladders up to the full height of the bridge. Yep. There. Nope. There. Good. This is where my deck is going to be. And I will build it something like this. I usually don't worry too much about having some stone showing through. It's fine. Yeah, see, this will be the deck of the bridge. This will be the actual working, walking surface of the bridge right here. So, if that's the case, and I've got, let me load the stone for a minute. Pick up some more wood from over here. Okay. What I want to do is figure out how I'm going to depict this. Now, I have something in mind. I want to do it like an arch shape. And it's got to span 3 of those meters across there. What? Here. This is going to annoy me if I don't do something about it. Just put in some... Come on. Come on. There we go. Some stairs so I can quickly get on here. So... Right here. Let me, can I get up there? Oh, almost worked. Almost. Let's start from here. There we go. Okay. I want to, build all this up too. So, we build at least a section of it to get it up there. That might be enough. Nope, I will need some wood. I'm trying to do is manage my weight, and I'm maybe managing it a little too hard here. Okay. The ladder, this side. Okay. So, and I'm not going to build the whole thing. I just need enough to connect both sides. Right. The right height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay. So now I want to connect those two things together. Let me delicately jump up on there. Nice. So I'm going to need to connect across these two sides. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Without having something fall down. How you doing? Okay. Don't fall in the water, please. So there's my space that I need to span. I start with a middle piece, like so. Wait, is that what I wanted? No, that's not what I wanted. The wood? Yeah, well. I'm going to leave 2 pieces in the middle, then I'm going to go for... This is what I wanted. That one, that one. Sort of creating an arch here. Not a true arch, but something that looks pretty close. Okay. So now, if I come around to this side and connect this piece to it, need some place to stand. You in the ground? You are. Okay. Watch yourself. Don't fall in the water. Okay. There. There. You see how the arch is kind of... This is just visual. It's not meant to be a true arch here, but no, this is what I want. No, I want this. No, I think the next step is vertical, right? I don't like that much. Okay. But what I can do then is kind of put a bit of cladding on this. Something like that. And then I can start the arch going the other way over here on this side, like so. Very roughly like that. Uh-huh. Then, well, I need more wood, but you kind of get the idea now. Yeah, I need more wood. There's some there. Nope. There's some here. Okay. What I'll eventually kind of bottom this out as... Oh, stop that. Stop that. Get out of the water. Where am I? Where did I go? I went underneath it. What I'll eventually want to do is put this piece at the bottom, like that, you see? And then it makes it look like it's crossing together. Yeah. Well, not entirely loving that. I wonder if I could put the piece up here. That better? Maybe. Maybe this doesn't come this far down. Maybe this piece goes here, and the arch starts up again. Oh, dear. Maybe I can get them from above. Get those wood pieces out of there. Not only do they look bad, but I need the wood. Here, I'll just fall. There we go. Yep, nearly killed myself just for some pieces of wood. Okay. Start this again. So. Right. Then go to the, no, to the shallower one like so. That will attach, well, over that away. Then, here and connect these pieces in, like so. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. You know what I end up using in any of this is core wood, but hold that thought, because one thing we haven't yet done is build a roof on this guy. And when we get to that point, we might indeed need some core wood. Can I do this? Well, you know what? I can do it from up top. Yep, just like that. Okay. So yeah, now the question is, will I be able to get across there to span that distance? Yeah, the beams did, and that implies the floor will, but then can I build a roof over that and close it in the middle? We will see. We will see. I'm going to go over here and get this other piece of wood. Made easier by having a temporary bridge I can cross. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Fill that in. I think it's this piece comes next. Spin it around and attach it. Nope. There, like that. Can I see that? Yep, that looks about right. Okay. Let's see if I can see it from this side. Yeah. Then I put the X on there. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Will I lose my hammer? Oh, I did it. Okay. Spin that around. Like so. Yeah, obviously I'll have to fill in the rest of this wall up here, but you're getting the idea. Okay. Now we'll make our first crossing of the bridge at deck level. Look at that. Didn't die. Okay. Now the question is, will we turn the lights on? Will we be able to put a roof on it? And actually, we can probably find that out pretty darn quick here. I feel cold. All right, so let's find this center point here. All right, this is the center. I'll mark it with these beams. Out of wood. Oh my goodness. Here. Don't need that anymore. Okay. This is, I know it doesn't look like the center point, but come on. That's because we haven't finished out building this side of it. When it's all done, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on that side. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it'll be about right. So if this is the middle, now we find out, can we put a roof on it? Oh, for God's sake. Let's go get some actual supplies of wood. All right, goodbye. Be back to you later. Watch your food. Prepare your hammer. Come on. Come on. Close that door. Get some more wood. Some real wood. All right. Yes, I do want to sleep, Miran. Thank you. Been a relatively dream-free session. Yes, I don't know what that's all about. Nope, I don't need any repairs. Top off my arrows, though, and my food. What did that say? Yes, YouTube has about a 5-minute delay in this stream. Let's see here. What was I doing? Yes, I remember. I'm going to build just a section of roof here, just whatever I can build. And if it stands up, well, that doesn't work. If it stands up, we are golden. I want it a little taller than that. I usually like a little headroom, but you know, it has to be shorter in order to not fall down. All the better. You see how these are already orange, so that's a potential concern. Now, for a bridge, I usually go for, well, let's see. Well, let's try the shallower roof. From a support standpoint, it doesn't really make much difference. Okay. Let's see how it looks. That one's dark orange. These are yellow. It can sometimes take a few minutes for it to figure out, you know, calculate all the routes down to the ground from here. So the colors may shift and change a little. So this side is definitely darker orange. It could potentially be because I haven't finished all this stonework over here. That one is weaker. Yeah. That's oh, wait a minute. I didn't even have this side with support. Yeah, that's absolutely why that one's darker orange. I had forgotten that I didn't do that side over there. Okay, well, I can quickly come in and start fill that in. And see if it changes. But this is looking really good. And I'll think about the height of the roof. Yeah. Yeah, that kind of works. All right. Let's get over there and get some stone going. Get that thing finished off. Somewhat. One thing though, I am definitely going to need some more stone here because there's parts that have yet to be filled in. That's all out. Let me go get some more stone from home. Stone. Yes, I have an overflowing quantity. Not really. Okay. Necessary, I will grab some from community. that will be a last resort. Oh. No. Ah! That's what I was trying to do. Come on. Here. This is getting in the way. Okay. Alrighty then. Carry all that? Yes, I can. Ladders to the top. Cool. Now, you can see. Yeah, see? Now, this side's more orange, this side's more yellow, but they're much more relatively even, so that's cool. Good. Water around it. Now, I think what I'd like to do is get the roof put on the center section. This is kind of a crude roof, but it will protect it, so let's just get it on there. And then we can make it pretty later. Later, I'd probably like to put it on a wood and tar roof. Need these stones here. So, a whole bunch more wood. Yes. trying to get this roof on before it inevitably rains, so that I don't have to repair all this wood part. Oops. Gonna have enough wood? Maybe. Maybe. Okay. All right. Now this is easily wide enough to fit a cart. If you need to check that, you can go to cart, and there you see that's how wide it's going to be. So you can almost get two carts side by side going down here. Okay. So that's sort of the basic build of that center section. Still got to do a little bit more work on the arching part, which, as you can see, is really just cosmetic, but it kind of gives you the impression that there's an archway on the bridge. We got to tear out that middle part there where the boat's going to go through, and then I'd like to fill in stone to cover those ends, so it's not just hollow, because that kind of looks, I don't know, looks inadequate for it to be hollow. Let's see. If I put a little wall piece in there, will that cover that tiny little gap? Let's see. Will this work? Custom place it? Maybe. Get it just... Come on. There. Yeah. Good enough. Okay. And I'll repeat all that on the other side, of course. Let's get a small piece in there. Yep. Now I got to think about how this is going to come down over here, because essentially I don't want a ramp leading up there. That makes it really hard for the cart. What I want is for the bridge to come straight across, and it's going to land, I don't know, somewhere around here, I think. And that's going to be a real wooden piece, and that's where I believe we're going to need to invoke the core wood that we so far have not actually used. So, the other side is going to be an even longer stretch. That's going to be tricky. Potentially, we could do some smaller stone piers to help support it. We'll have to see. So what I'm going to start with here, let me get a little bit more wood. I'm going to start with the arch, which on this side of that pier will actually be somewhat structural. So let's see what we can do. Okay. So the way this works is you basically have two pieces of each one. So there's one. There's one of that. There's two. Two of that. Wait. Yeah. Two of that. Two of that. And then two straight pieces. Then we come down. So we go for this guy. Two. Yeah, I'm going to run into a problem here. Yeah, okay. So what I need to do here... Oh, stop that. I don't need all that. I just need to... well, maybe I do. Okay. Here, I'll stick that in. That should hold it. Okay. That's just temporary. What was I doing? Oh, it was this piece. Yes. Yes, and then we switch to this one again. And in theory, we're doing 2 of those. Practice. Can I get... There we go. All right. So that's the arch. Now I should be able to take this stuff out. I hope. How's it looking up in the middle there? It's finding its way. Why that one's so orange and that one's so yellow, I'm not sure. Something about the the horizontal transfer of the stone support, I would imagine. So, let's see. Put a piece right there. And right there. And I think that's the half wall piece. Yes. The full wall piece. Yes. Like so. Like so. Uh-huh. Okay. Now I want to build the same thing on this side. Uh-huh. Well, that's the wrong way around. How about like that? Yep. And then 2 straight pieces. And down 1, 2. Now I need to support that. Yep. Oh, I need to support this. Oops. Get out of the way. Okay. That. That. And, yep. Just get it in there. Okay. Take that out. Dokie. Nope. Other way around. What did I do? Oh, that's what I did. Okay. And then we'll, do something with that in a minute. So this is holding up pretty well now. We'll have another question again about whether or not we can support a roof, but honestly, it's looking fine. Okay. And I like to have the planks running along the bridge. I don't know, aesthetically, it looks better to me. Makes no difference structurally. Of course, we'll have to continue this roof out here. Blah, blah. We'll decide if we want to do more than that, maybe fill this in. Still no core wood. Pretty remarkable. These ladders don't go anywhere anymore, so get them out. All right. Now we can kind of just come along here, I think, and... a workbench up here. All right, easily fixed. Just shove one up there. I think we might be able to just build this out to the ground. Yeah, look at that. Can I go one more piece? Let's see, hang on, I need to get closer. I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, there. Sinks right into the ground. Cool. With that established, I can just link it together. Maybe. The right corner. Good. Okay. Look at that. Walk right onto the bridge from the ground. At grade. Nice. Could eat another bite. Yep. Always watch your food. You see how seductive it is? You get building, you get busy, things are happening, it's coming together, and you forget to eat. That's when you die. Alright. Just going to move this over a little bit. Off to one side so it's out of the way. Now let's extend this roof line. Same reason. I don't want to repair it. Even more important now that the wood is actually structurally holding up the bridge. Ooh, the hammer's getting low. And I'm out of wood. Hammer. Honestly, I don't think I need any of this anymore. Served its purpose. Okay. Stamina, stamina, always stamina. One thing you could do while building like this is to eat majority stamina foods, or sometimes even all stamina foods. I just don't really do that. Probably should, but my habit's pretty well established, and oh well. Whatevs. Stop that. What I want to do is extend this roof out at least one more section to make sure that as much of the wood is covered as possible. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sure that all of it's covered, even though well, I can finish this. Oops, what did I do there? I get that twisted around. Okay. Oh, this was so much harder to do before they added those extra snapping points and the ability to just quickly switch between them. Made this kind of thing, putting things on top of things and underneath things, dramatically easier. Let's see, where's the edge of this? And I'm covered by that. So remember earlier I was talking about not making the bridge into a base object. Well, into a player base. It is absolutely a player base now. We have one bench. We have two benches. Let's see. 3 benches. And then over there, 4 benches. Yeah. This is absolutely a player base at this time. So this is something we have to be very wary of. If a raid comes here. Oops. See, that's how you get that twisted around. If a raid comes here, we're going to have some real problems. All right. That's looking pretty good. Let's see how it looks from this side. Yeah, that looks pretty sharp. I got to fill in some of that cladding there. That's not structural, so that can wait. And then I got to do a whole bunch of it on this side. It's almost all missing. But yeah, looking pretty good. And then got to tear out that middle part. So I'm not going to tear this out until I can get this end connected up at the deck level, because then we can cross the bridge without having to do any sort of tricks. So a little more building to do. Let's see. We're about 2 hours into the stream. That's going pretty well. I had planned it for somewhere between 3 and 4 hours, so that's fine. Now something else I might want to think about here. Let me zoom out a bit. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll sort of pathen it underneath all these sections, so you don't get grass showing up. Hello. So you don't get grass showing up through the bridge and stuff like that. Let's maybe give that a whirl. Okay. And pathening, it doesn't change the terrain. Just strips off the vegetation. So it's real low impact as far as terrains go. Yeah, something like that. Just enough to get it under the bridge here. Maybe this initial section going in there. Now this might need some modification to the terrain here as we're stepping onto the bridge to make it a little bit smoother. But it's better to wait till we're just about done before doing that, because changes might happen. Who knows? Make sure because this is kind of like a big bump, and we want to have it come out a little bit flatter right here. So, but I can do the pathening part. Okay. Right there. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. Let's see. Are folks in a position to sleep? I don't know. Baron's at his house. Let's ask. And will you sleep? Question mark. Oh! Yes, I guess we can sleep. Somebody else was probably within instance of asking. I just happened to lie in bed before I asked the question. Huh? Oh, okay. All right. You know, since we're here, get rid of some of the stuff we're not using on the bridge. Parts. And stone. Well, might still need some stone, but we'll see. We'll see. We will recover stone from that center section when we tear it out. Right. We're gonna need some more wood. Let's see what we got here. We can go half of one, right? Yeah. You see now, we can get to the other side by taking the bridge itself. Woohoo! All right. So the way it worked was, let's turn this off. We had this piece, coming out this way, right? Like that. No, that's wrong. That is wrong. It was the other way, wasn't it? Yes. Yes. Okay. And we had a second one of those. Wait a minute. Let's see here a minute. Take a look and see what it actually is. Okay. Yes. No. Hold on. Ah, it was up and then, yeah, okay. Had it wrong. Got it right the first time. Okay, so let's try this again. This way. Yeah, that means that this is actually going to have a piece going that way, and then we're going to have this piece connecting to it here. Come on, come on. There, and so forth. Okay. Great. So then we had 2 straight pieces. Then back to this one. Like that. And as I recall, that's the point at which I need to support it. Okay. And then one of those guys. And this one. It's not, what am I missing? Oh. Not in range of the bench. Gotta watch where I'm standing here. Here, let's see. Can I throw a bench out here somewhere? Oh, there we go. Okay, good. That'll help. Then we do the same thing on the other side. So first of all, get a beam. No. Right. Like so. 2 straight. 1, 2. Down. Other way. Add support. I didn't quite do it, did it? Okay. Another one of those. Nope. Yep. 2 of these. That's touching the ground. Barely. I'm going to add a 3rd one, which isn't really kosher, but it needs the support. All right. Okay. Beams in there. Put half walls on here and here. Full walls on here and there. And there, there, and there, and there. Great. The edging on. And put the deck on. Oh dear. This looks like it might turn to rain. Move it, move it. How much wood do I have? Probably not enough. You know what I can do? It's not that. Zoom that. Save a little time by doing every other hole. Also saved a little wood in case I was going to come up short. And I am. Okay. Gives a cool perspective when you're running down the bridge with all those poles. Let's see. Okay. Now that's protected. Finish off these other poles. I don't like to leave things in unfinished state. Okay. With this fog, it looks like it's the tunnel into nowhere. Okay, now I have to be careful here. Yeah, coming down. Now, like the other side, this ladder no longer serves a purpose. So, get that. Now, can I come straight out to the ground the way I did on the other side? Tricky. Let's find out. I might need to throw up. Stop that. I might need to throw up a pole for some support halfway along here. Just watching the color of it. How you looking? You're looking very red. Yeah, figured as much. Yep. Okay, happy now? Yeah, you're happy now. Ooh, one more. Beautiful. Great. May be able to dispense with those poles in a minute, but we'll also do something about the arches. And once again, we roof it over. Again, every other. I've been very fortunate. And yeah, I'm probably jinxing myself here. We've been very lucky that it has not rained on us here. How's my wood? Oh, not gonna be enough, I think. Should have staged some wood on this side, I think. Did not occur to me. Out of wood. Here we go. It's turning into quite a long bridge, isn't it? It's all good. Okay, same deal here. I'll just add a couple more pieces. Is that enough to cover it? One more, I think. Then fill in the supports. Now this is not good here because there's barely enough room for a person to crawl inside. Obviously that will have to be modified. But we will get to that. We will get there. Path in. Yep. This one's going to take some rather more extensive terrain mods, I think, to smooth out the passage in here. Yeah. This all. No, we can probably take out those. No, these poles. That's ones I can take out. Yep. Just cleaned up. All right. Should probably take out both sets of poles. Why did I choose that? That's dangerous. Okay, 8. Okay, so what I want to do here, so we're imagining that this piece serves as the crossover point. So let's do this like so. Yep. And we'll have a second one. And we switch to the flatter side, like that, like that. And we have 2 straight pieces, and then what we would do here is switch this one around to be, let's see if we can, there, like that, yeah. Like so, then so, and so. That guy. And come on. There we go. Okay. And half wall. There. Nice. Now I can definitely take these 2 out because I have alternative supports. Is there another piece down here? Maybe not. Okay. Half wall that way. Full wall. There, and there. Nice. Alright, now. Do I want to fill anything in the hollow sections? You know, it's fine. Does the job. Looks okay. Definitely want to finish this off. So let's see here. Oh, there we go. Can I get in there? Maybe. It's a little too high. Okay. So what I need to do is build a platform, maybe there, and some ladders to get up to it. Right. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, we're gonna do that little piece of wall thing here. Ooh, need to be lower down. So need to be maybe down here. Come on. Here, there we are. Okay, let's see if I can do it from here. Okay, I want to aim. Yeah, just place in that. Lights would help. Yeah. Okay. There. Yes. Good. Is that finished? can't see. I think it's filled in. You could eat another bite. Oh, see? I got involved in my building, and I didn't eat. If I'd fallen, it would have been very, very bad. Let's eat something. Fix my tool here. Plenty of wood. What was I looking for? Oh, yes. Wanted to see whether this one was all filled in. Yes. So now the other side, as I recall, is missing lots of it. Okay. Oh, and up here. I don't feel rested anymore. Oh, it's a shame. That's not a great thing either, but I can live without rested for a little bit. Famous last words. Okay. So let's see. We're just going to count this. So there's 1, 2 of those. 1, 2 of the. Here. 1, 1, 2, 1, and this is 2. Then we switch and go the other way. 1, 2. 1, 2. So this one should be the no, upside down one. This one should be the one that's connected to the bottom of it here, like so. Is that right? Doesn't look right. Oh, I think it was though. It was right. Yeah, and then there'd be another one connected to the bottom of that one, which is probably completely buried. Yeah. So we need a full wall. No. Here, to the side. Then that. This would be the half wall piece, right? Ah, yeah. So then we'd need this piece there, underneath there. Like so. And go. Okay, good. Let's do this side. Same deal. So 1, 2, 1. There's the second one. 2, then we reverse when we come up. So that would be this upward part of the arch. There. And there. Uh-huh. And we have 1, 2, so this one would be this piece. What are you doing? Yes. And then finally, like that. And here's the half wall. Like that. Okay. Well, not like that. Like that. Yes. Okay. Good. Good. At least I think so. Wait. Why? Now, does that mean if I turn this one around? That should actually be... Here, let me take this out for a second. So this should actually be... Oh yeah, that's what it should actually be. Just like that, because you can see that. Okay. Yeah, the two sides are well, slightly different. All right. Wait a minute, did I ever finish that other side? I'm not sure. Let's go see. No, I didn't really. I mean, I finished this bit, but didn't fill in all the bits. Okay. Yep. That. Okay, the poles. Okay. This little awkward bit. Now. Yes. Can I work on this from here? Maybe. Far. Let's see if I can up the top. How's that? Can I reach over there? Let's see. There's that. Doesn't look right. I'm not talking about the loose piece of wood that's hanging out there. Oh dear. We have some unwanted guests. Where are they? Aha! Red eyes. It's a brute. Are you coming this way? Let's not take any chances. We're going to be making noise, so there we go. That must have hurt. Neck got angry about that. So, okay. This doesn't look quite right. Let's see here. Uh-huh. Oh, it's not in the middle. That's what's confusing me. It's not actually in the middle of the pier. It still doesn't look quite right. So it's about one full block in from that end. No, that's right. Okay. So, let's do this. This little platform over here. That works. No. Yep. Then the smaller one. Watch where you're standing. Yep. Fill it in. Oh, come on. Wow. That was fiddly. Just too far away is the problem. Let's see if I can get this little small piece in here. Yes, please. I would like to sleep. Okay, wait. Which side am I on here? Not the right one. Chompy's got some rage wars. We all have a grade dwarf problem. This armor that I'm wearing is weak to fire, and yet I frequently leap over fires. Yeah, you know, what could go wrong? Running out of wood? Oh, goodness. Well, the wooden part is actually pretty close to being finished. So, yeah, this little piece up here. What is that? Oh, it's a half wall. Just sit in there. Good. Okay. Cool. Now, let's see here. So we've got 1, 2. So then the piece we want to go here, turn it around, is that, and then that. Oh, don't walk off the pier. And then that, and X goes next. Finally, this piece. Well, that piece. Fill it in. Okay. Oh, the little thing here. All right. There. Yeah. Looking pretty good. So, let's do a little bit of maintenance here. I'm going to start by moving some benches around. Let's do a count. What was that sound? Start by doing a count here. How many squares across the bridge? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. $38. Each of these is 2 meters, so that is 76 meters across. So, if put a workbench, how much do I have? I have plenty. Okay, here, and then I go. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Another workbench here. And another one here. And, well, there. So now I no longer need any other workbenches. So I can tear all this stuff out. And tear out the bridge while we're at it. So this bridge has served its purpose. A lot of this wood's going to end up in the water, I know, but what can you do? That, at least, can be picked up. Well, maybe, okay, maybe leave a post here to hold that up. Because I don't want to have to move that box at the moment. Now, we're going to have some wooden pieces in the bottom here. Do my best to take them out. I have to get a boat out here at some point. No, did not make it. Okay. Food's running low too. Okay, let's oops, not what I was trying to do. Okay. Alright. Break that out. Now I'm aiming at the bottom where the holes are underneath there. Kind of see them glowing through the water. Probably going to miss a few because there might be some cases where there's a third layer further down. That's alright. Nothing like creating a hazard for boats. Alrighty. Yep, there's one that's down there. Barely see it through all the wood. Can I pick up this wood? Not a chance. Okay. Let's run this back over to the other side and pick up more of it. Food. Make another pass in a few minutes to see if there are any poles that I can potentially reach. Oh, there's one. And another. Okay. Alright, now this time we're looking for poles. Uh-huh. Yep, there's a couple. Let's see if I can reach those from the bridge. Okay, these over here I'll get in a minute. Where were those? Yes, here we are. Get you. Out of reach. Okay. There we go. Get the wood. Always try to leave things as clean as you can. Every piece is an instance. It's also a resource that you can recover. So I can go get it. Possibly can. See, you're sitting on that pole, so it'd be fine if I break that, I would think. Okay. Well, what do you have inside of you? Can I pick all that up? Almost. Pull this up. Okay. No problems. I'm just a little heavy. Here, I'll shove a chest over here. Great. Now comes the big moment. Now, interesting question is, do we want to keep Chompy had a bear trophy on his first kill. It's the luck of this server. Okay. So I'm going to just knock that out, and I'm going to remove this chunk of stone here. It isn't actually holding anything up, because I think I pointed out earlier that stone support is primarily vertical, except for those arch pieces. So I will come back here and toss that in, just because, you know, it's still a pathway across, at least for the moment. Now, let's go over here and do something similar. Oh, wait. No, we already tore that out over here, didn't we? Okay, cool. All right, so now we have a tricky business. We need to be able to tear out this stone, but we've got the stone cutter right here in the middle. So this has to move. And let's place it, you know, actually, let's, well, let's place it up here. I think everything should be in range. Yeah, let's see here. I think so. So first thing I'm going to do is tear out this flooring. This will give me visibility to be able to see what I need to see. Now, this could be tricky. How do I get those? Can I reach them? I can. Good. Stand right above them. Great. Those would eventually despawn, but... Ooh, you're kind of stuck, aren't you? Ah, let me get out of here. Okay. I'm going to do this. I fall down in the water. I was worried, you know, how do I get out of it? Well, we'll see. Okay. Get the piece of wood. Oh, it didn't work. Should work. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Okay. Stop moving. Nope. Nope. That did not work. Okay. I'm going this way. Okay. Here we go. I can do this. Take out that. Take out this. Take out this. And I'm free. Good. Woohoo. Tense. Put that back. I just noticed this planking, I had it across, not lengthways, the way I kind of like it. Okay. That was a little nerve-wracking. Okay. Now, let's see. If I take that out, will that end up with a floating piece? It will. This one? Good. These I know I can reach. Yep. And... Yep. Good. Now, let's do one side and see how things go. Because the problem's going to be picking up the stone. So if I stand on it and break it, I get the stone. Like so. Okay. Now the question is, will the same thing happen here? You know, how the heck am I going to get up there? Let me build ladders down, but this time I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. Or pretty close to it. You all the way to the bottom? Can't tell. You're darn close to it. That's to the bottom. There we go. Okay. So break this. Will I get the stone? I did. Ooh, that lower one's going to be very difficult. Okay. Let's go back here. This is going to be very tedious. There, see, that lets me get out. Okay. So, break that. And yes, I got the stone. Okay. I think those last ones at the bottom are not going to work like that because, oh, well, that's not what I want to do. Because they are not able to get on top of them and stand on them. So, let's get as much as I can. Okay, I got that. Great. Okay. Same thing here. Now, knowing how the carve is shaped, I could actually leave the those lower pieces there. But they're... Oh, I didn't want to do that, did I? Oops. Yeah. They are instances. They serve no purpose. And, well, let's see, how bad is this? How much stone will I have? I have quite a bit, so I guess we're going to sacrifice those. Eventually, this stone may despawn, especially if I remove all the benches from the place. Okay, can I reach those? I can just reach them. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I can get that stone. It's too deep down. Oh well. That's how it goes. Now, next thing to do is... It's 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Do I want to do another layer of that? I think I do. So I'm going to move you down below again. I'll have to take it over the other side eventually. So I want to do another bank of cross pieces. Again, at this height above. This will just help to transfer the loads. What I'm worried about is what will happen if some stones get broken, especially those big stones at the bottom. One of the downsides to those type of stones is that because they're big pieces, but they have the same health as the smaller pieces, when one gets broken, you lose a big chunk of your support all at once. So, yeah, I like that. Now let me... Let's see, how am I doing stone-wise? Yeah, I'll need more. For those, they're 4 each. Yeah, let's grab a little bit more. Hey, can I take the whole thing? I can. And remember, when we're done with all this, we're going to take all these benches away. So, they're all going to go. So I'll come down here. Pop my stone cutter in place. Oh, come on. It's easier to jump with the, there we go. The hammer in my hand. All right. Put in these guys. This height. And finally, we'll get some more stone. Almost out, but we'll find some. And we're gonna plug the ends of these piers so that they look more solid. Yeah. Take that out. Carry it with me. Yeah. We're just gonna fill those in. We're gonna fill in the inside parts. That's gonna be tricky. We'll probably have to build a platform around the outside to be able to stand there. But yeah, I do want to fill that in so that it doesn't look so hollow. Yep. Okay. And how much stone do we have? Not much. We're going to need more than that. Okay. Checking my time here. We're about 3 hours in. Doing okay. It's really looking like we're not going to have the time to deal with the smaller bridge this session. Oh well. It was this bridge that I really wanted to get to. And also the terrain modifications. We can save that till next session. That's going to be tricky too, trying to carve a pathway down in there that doesn't just rip the land to pieces. It's always a very delicate operation. But let's see if we can at least get these piers done. Oh, and also maybe add a little lighting to this bridge. I'll tell you what. Let me put this over here. And let's talk about the lighting right now. So, we don't want to have torches because those are base items. So, what we instead will have are these Turtling trophies. I only have 8. They're not the most common trophy to get. So, question is how to space them out, give some lighting to the bridge. And since it's night, that's very useful to see how things are going to look. So, let's fix my hammer. I want it to break halfway. Oh, close the door. All right. So let's do a little more counting. Hammer. It was 38. It's 38 across, right? That sounds right. Yeah. Yeah, 76 meters. That's right. So, 76 divided by 8 doesn't go evenly. 72 is 9 times. So that means every 9 squares. Hold on just a moment. Okay. 9.5 actually. But wait. No, because I want to put one at each end. Start right here. I'm only going to put them on one side because I just have so few. Question is, am I going to have enough? I think so. So what I want to use is the item stand like this. I'll just stick that there. Then I'll go down and put one at the other end while I figure this out. So actually, I should have done 76 divided by 7. Right? 7. I have to go here, don't I? Yeah. Because I'm going to create 7 segments. So that's not quite 11. Wait, did I do that differently? I think I did that differently. If I had more of these trophies, I could do this more easily. But you'll see how wonderful these are. Oh yeah, I did that one differently. Put it there is where I want to do it. Okay, make sure I didn't lose any of those materials because they sometimes fall funny. Yep, see, they went on top. Okay. So, I now have 6 left. Let's place the ones I've got. Never select your hammer when you're pointing at this thing. You're going to attach your hammer. See, yeah, happens so often. Yeah, it's kind of a classic Valheim thing. All right, take a look at that. Isn't that lovely? It's got fire, gives off light. Yeah, and it's not a base item. It will not trigger events. Also never needs fuel. So, pretty good. All right, so 38 squared. Do one more calculation. 8 divided by 7 is 5.428. Great. So let's go by fives. And maybe we'll leave a longer gap in the middle. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put one there. 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll put one there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, let's go back to this side. Do it this way, because we're going to leave a longer gap in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll put one here. 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll put one here. Okay, let's put up the trophies. See where we're at with this. Nope. There we go. 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. So that leaves us with 2 trophies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, this will have to do. Okay. Put up that one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Put up this one. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. That seems like that didn't work out very well. And I'm out of trophies. 2, 3. Yeah, I don't think I calculated that right. Whatever. I'll get more of these trophies and I'll come back and add them in here, move them around a bit. But this gives you a little something, so you can see what you're doing. Super-de duper. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take out these benches because we don't want these here anymore. So let's start getting rid of these. Okay. So now, if I've kept track of things correctly, all of the benches have been removed from the top of the bridge. What do we have here? Oh, yes. Here, I'll shove that in there for a second. Let me grab this other stuff. Let me grab that if I can. And now, let's get up here. Put these materials back. Uh-huh. Okay. That back there. This back here. Hang on to this for the moment. So, let's get the rest of the materials out of that chest and break it down. We don't want that there. It's a brand new day. How much of this can we grab? All of it? Yeah, look at that. Oh, look. We don't have a crafting station to break this down. Build one for a second, break that, and build the crafting station. Then break the crafting station. But that confirms that we didn't have a workbench anywhere close to there, which is good. That's the way we wanted it. We'll grab all this junk. Oh, something went wrong there. Oh, okay, it's 20, right? About carve. No, 20. Yes. Okay. Close that. So for the moment, at least, this bridge is complete. It needs some more refinement and work. Maybe raising the roof a little bit. Certainly some terrain work on either end. But at least the essentials. Oh, and of course the stonework. So we're gonna come back and take care of that just a minute here. Gotta get those ladders out of there. Yeah. Let's finish up the stonework on the inside and the of the pillars, and then we'll wrap it up here. Okay. We'll kind of work on this side to side. We have one stone cutter, and we'll only need one workbench to build it. And we're going to need all the stone we can get. So that might not be enough. Let's go get some more if we've got any. Trying to think where else I've left stone. Some places where I did some mining, I left some stacks of it, but most of those I recovered when I did the building of the wall around this base. So that's gonna be tricky. All right, what do I have? Well, actually, I have a fair amount here. Take those 3 stacks. Actually, I can probably take all that one too. Yep. Okay. That off. Fix my stuff. Reload the food. Let's go fill in that stone. Okay. Wait. Yes. That. Yeah, I'll just take the whole thing. Said the whole thing. And I'll take all that. Okay. So first we'll start with the water-facing places. So we'll start this by missing the required crafting station. Yeah, we're gonna see that a little bit today. Let's build this. There we go. Oh, building. Remember what I said? We're gonna have to build a platform. Let's build it right there. Yeah. Why did I do that? Okay. So, break these pieces up, and that should all float to the surface. Super. And I'll break that piece out too, because we're never going to go inside there again once we tear that all out. Oh, convenient. Just go in here. Now we might be able to build from the inside here. Let's give that a whirl. There we go. All right. So let's start with. Actually, that would waste stone, wouldn't it? Wait, 6. 4. Yeah, it would waste a little bit of stone. So let's see. And if we just do this. Yeah. Yeah, that works. Okay. Can't see what I'm doing. That's sunlight. Yeah, too bright. Missing requirement. Oh, out of stone. Oof, I don't know if this will be enough. We'll see. I'm going to leave those holes there. We'll call them vents. A little hard to see what I'm talking about. There. You see the holes created by those tunnels? Yeah, Bjorn, I was seeing some of that too, even though the when I was using my um, like my wave command and so forth, it was complaining about it, even though the wave actually happened. And I have those programmed to work on certain key presses. So it was very odd. See if I can get up here and get some better light on this. Oh my goodness, this is so bright. There, finally see you here. Okay. There. See, I'll just leave those two holes. They're like ventilation or something to let the inside ventilate. Whatever. Also because I don't want to tear those things out and then have to go chasing after that stone, which I would desperately need. Okay, I'll get that wood later. Alright, so here we'll do the same thing. Just put stone in here. And there you go. Cool. Okay. That looks very intentional with those arches in there. Yeah. That's fine. So now let's go put this stone away. We'll carry this stuff around to the other side. Same thing. Suggest, Buren, that perhaps it was having a problem with that slash. It was getting eaten somehow and not actually being passed through to game engine. That is very strange. Come on. Let me build. Thanks, Chompy. It's there for just a second. Where is it? Come on. Let me build it. Darn it. It's this slope. It doesn't like to build this thing on a slope. You got to find like a theoretical flat spot. Okay. Well, we'll try the same thing here. And I have no stone. But I do have some wood, so let me... what's that? Oh, I see. Let me try building another platform around the outside, like I did before. Okay. Good. And go get some more stone. Okay. I'll have to remark my map. Dots for representing the new bridge. I have a sort of a technique for doing that. And you mark a dot at each end and then start quartering it down. Okay, rebuild. Now, start filling those in. Get one more up there. Come on. Same problem as the other side. And I need some wood. Dang it. Well, I'm not running across again. Where's some wood? Give me some wood. I need like 4. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Well, for the moment at least, I declare this bridge open and done. Yeah. More work yet, but it's coming along there. We'll get on to that. And it's perfectly functional as a bridge. I will return to this task to work on the other footbridge, which will be a bit more than a footbridge at that point, because it's also going to be pretty high up. I may build that one. Since it's such a slope, I might build that one with stairways. The flat stairways, that's the ones that are shaped like this. You can absolutely pull a cart up and down those. The steeper ones, like ladders, no way. Well, you can pull them down, but going up, no. This one is completely possible to take carts up and down those. It's possible I'll want to come through here and sort of shave the top off of this hill, bring it down closer to the level of the bridge, and then that will greatly reduce the height over here and blah blah blah. Or maybe I'll head off in this direction and lower it that way. Something. But you know, there's roadways, there's parts that need to be done, connecting things up. Definitely more work. I will save this stone here. I am going to place the metal inside this, just because it's a little more valuable in case some gray dwarves come along and try to lift it. I didn't really use this core wood. I'll leave a little of it here. I'm going to take this back to my my place where I can probably find a good use for that. I like the look of core wood and all that. It's possible I'll change my mind and come back and add some core wood, but right now I kind of like the smooth, finished look of the regular wood. I gotta do something about the upper deck. It needs a railing at the very least. So possibly what I can do is invert the poles here, putting the 1 meter pole at the bottom and then running a railing across at that point. Maybe. Or, I don't know. I'll think about it. Something a little more elegant. Obviously, we eventually want the tar roof. It might be cool to have the roof extend out a little bit beyond the edges of the bridge, the way I do on my my home base. That would be a much more complicated build, but since we seem to have ample support, yeah, why not? Oh, of course, there is one more important thing we do need to do here. Didn't even think about that. Hang on a minute. Very important. Let me run this home and I'll be right back. Thanks, Björn. It's modeled on one I've done before, but it's a little bit different. And not as tall as that one. That one was kind of crazy tall. Yeah, I'm going to just dump this in here for the moment. There. And then we're going to go back and run the most crucial test of all. Okay, whoops, it's in here. A little dark. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm on here alone. Let me go run it to the next day so we can see what we're doing. $6.99, almost day 700. Well, that's cool. Oh, it's raining. Really? 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 Game. Well, I suppose it's a more realistic test. That's really annoying. Oh, crap. I need some wood. This looks like a good spot. Drop the bench real quick. Put my boat in the... not the raft. Put my boat in the water here. Let's try to get it out into the water. Oops. Fix it up a little bit. Remove that. Okay. Let's do some sailing. Specifically, let's see if we can sail under the bridge without without bumping. Now, I'm just going to use the oars here because maneuvering under this is not easy, in spite of the fact that we planned it to leave plenty of room. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy. In fact, I'm going to slow down a little bit. Get myself lined up. See how it goes. A little bit to the starboard there. Okay, let's see. We're gonna have room. A little bit more ores. Oh, this looks good. Yes. We do need to turn as soon as we come through. Well, river's a natural thing. Excellent. Look at that. Totally works. Now, try doing that with a long ship. That takes a really tall bridge. Almost guaranteed to need to use wood iron for that. It's just a matter of the height required and the support rules. You just can't make it. I had a bridge that I built that could actually, the opening could actually allow the longship through, but the roof had no support. It would collapse in the middle, and so I had to sneak in some wood iron beams to make that work. Bjorn, the weatherman, yes. Bjorn always knows the weather in Valheim. So day 69 should clear at 07:12. Well, I don't have a clock mod in this playthrough, but I trust your info. It's usually good. Okay, close that up. Head back through. Yeah, if you didn't know that, the weather in Valheim is not random. It follows a strict pattern that can be charted out, and there's a website that Yer, the great mod developer, has put out that lets you figure out what the weather is. As long as you know the day number, you can tell which weather you're going to get. I think the day is usually divided into 3 segments or something like that, or at least 2 segments. I forget which. And so you get like the morning weather, the midday weather, the afternoon weather, something like that. And you can absolutely tell what's going to happen. And it's also different by biome. So each biome has its own pattern. So even though it sometimes seems like when it's raining everywhere, that isn't actually true. There's times where you can have it pouring rain in the meadows, and you walk into the Black Forest and the rain stops. Because that's how it works. Okay. I'm going to sit here in the special spot that gives me my maximum comfort. And, oh, Skippy, what's wrong? Why are you so sad? You built a beautiful bridge today. Was it because I was neglecting you? What do you expect? You're a rock with charcoal for a face. Anyway, I'm going to sit here and end my stream. I appreciate it. All the people who came to watch, or those who come to watch it later on. I love doing some of these building projects, especially large structures that test the limits of support. So that's a lot of fun. So I hope to do more of these later on. And I appreciate all of you who came. Thank you very much. And hopefully I will see you on the next one.
This Val-Con video is powered by GTX server hosting, the best way to run your Valheim server.